the one, the only, Benzion. Good morning and welcome to Yeshiva YouTube. Iyun Benzion. Today's daf is the second to last daf from Benzion Sotah daf Memches. Today it talks about one of the most important topics in modern day Judaism, a halacha that pretty much if you spent years learning Gemara, you're very familiar with. We're actually going to get next Mesechus Gittin. It talks about on Daf Vav and Zayin and Mesechus Gittin the same exact thing. Seemingly, according to the Gemara, there's a big isser to sing, to hear songs. It doesn't say Goyish songs. Any songs, Jewish songs, are forbidden. Mishachar of Beis HaMikdash. In the time of the Beis HaMikdash, it was allowed. They had a Levium who sang all the time. It was a happy time for Klal Yisrael. People sang. Nowadays, it's aser. Mishachar of Beis HaMikdash. That's what the Mishnah says. The Mishnah says on Mem Cherem and Aleph. Mishabala Sanhedrin, even 40 years before the Beis HaMikdash, Sanhedrin no longer sat there. Batal Hashir Beis HaMishtos. The shir, the song, Beis HaMishtos was forbidden. Now, what is Beis HaMishtos? So, the Art School translates as wedding halls, but I don't think it's wedding halls. Every wedding hall they drink. We're talking about alcohol. Right, so the Gemara is clear alcohol. I think it's on bars. You can't go to a bar. You can go to a bar, but don't listen to music in a bar. Okay, that makes sense. You can understand that. Even nowadays, we can handle that. The problem is the Gemara. The Gemara has strong words about singing. After the Gemara says about the shir from the Beis Mishtos, I'm a Rav. Udna deshama zimra ta'aker. An ear that which hears a zemer, it should be uprooted. It's a bad curse. You should lose your hearing. I'm a Rav zimra beisa churva b'seifa. If you hear a song in someone's house, it'll be destroyed, the house. And it goes on to prove that the house will be destroyed. And the Gemara has a story. Rav Huna battles him. Rav Huna, he was outraged. The Gemara says forbidden. In his place, he got rid of song. No Jewish music. No Mordechai Shapiro. No Shmuel Younger. Not even Arla Samit. Not even Mati Steinmetz. Can you believe it? A world without Mati Steinmetz. Not even Shalom Lemmer. So when he was doing that, everything was very cheap. They had a surplus of food. 100 geese was only one Zeus. And then Rav Chisda Zilzelbey. Rav Chisda was the rabbi who got up. Come on, the Frumkai. No, it's Jewish. The rabbis nowadays know these Gemaras. If it was up to the rabbis and they had their way, they would abolish Jewish music nowadays. Rav Pam was asked many years ago about Jewish music. You know, it started, he lived in the 90s, he was a big gadol in the 70s and the 80s when Jewish music was starting. You know, Mordechai ben David at that time, and Shmuel Brazil, A.B. Rodenberg. He said, forget about it. It's aser. Don't listen to it. They shouldn't be producing it. They shouldn't listen to it. The only time it's mutter is on Shabbos and Yontif for his miros. Get rid of it. It's aser. Now, the Rabbanim nowadays know the same thing. They believe in what Rav Pam says. When they hear the story of Rav Pam, they believe they take the Gemaras literally. But they know no one's going to listen to them. And they don't want the rabbis not to be listened to. So they go with what's accepted in the Jewish world, that Jewish music is accepted. You know, there's a plethora of Jewish music out nowadays. Every day a new singer comes with a video on YouTube. You know, everyone's releasing singles nowadays. No more albums, singles, you know, with these cute little music videos, you know. So it's accepted. What are the rabbis going to do over there? They're going to tell everybody. So nowadays, the really from rabbis, they say it's got to be authentic Jewish music. If it moves the top half of your body, that's authentic Jewish music. If it moves the bottom half of your body, that's goyish. Right? So only Matish time. That's why a lot of these yeshivas, especially here in Eretz Yisrael, they are drawn to, they only play Hasidish music nowadays. Hasidish music is okay. Hasidic, you know, a lot of it's in Yiddish, Hasidish, you know, it's not too much into, it doesn't sound like non-Jewish music, Hasidish music. It's not like Mordechai Shapiro, Chas v'Shalom, that, you know, has ventured into the pop genre. And Nissim Black, who's basically, he's the only guy that actually sounds like authentic non-Jewish music. Nissim Black. I like his music, Nissim Black. He's very good. You know, and we've drawn this line. The rabbis say, okay, the Gemara is aser. We can't aser everything. But to me, Either if it's true, if you hold to your belief that it's Aser, be like Rav Palm, say it's Aser. And if you believe that for whatever reason, I don't know what you do with these Gemaras, but if you believe for whatever reason that there's nothing to do about it, so everything. Don't draw lines in the sand. And admit, I don't know if you're a rabbi. If you're a rabbi, you have to enforce what you're saying. I don't know if no one's going to listen to you. You have to be adamant. Or Victor Miller would have said something. I'm sure Victor Miller was asked about this, and he probably drew a line in the sand. He was an Ish Emes. At least Ish Emes, he kept to what he believed. To me, a rabbi, I heard about a certain rabbi. I'm not going to say who it is. They said he was really good with the internet. He works with you. He works with you, right? Everyone knows the internet. A lot of the Rabbanim here in Eretz Yisrael are very against the internet. No internet, even filters here in Eretz Yisrael. America will never say that. You can have a filter. A lot of people have it non-filtered, even liquid. But here they say no internet at all. A lot of the Rabbanim, all the Gedolim say that. But this rabbi here in Eretz Yisrael, he works with you. Because not everyone can handle that, because their wives have to work. They need access to make life a little more convenient. It's impossible to live without the internet, without email and things like that. So he works with you. What does that mean, he works with you? He wants you to like him? Is that the purpose of a rabbi? He wants you to stay with him, to like him? That's not the purpose of a rabbi. A rabbi is to tell you what the halach is, what the Torah says. If you're a rabbi, stick up for the Torah. At least if you believe to take it literally. But I will give an answer to make it okay. And there's a difference in the word shir and zemer. Shir, songs with words. Right? Maybe in bars nowadays should not be okay. Weddings, no problem. Mishtos is bars. And zemer is a song without words. That's what a zemer is. They call it Shabbos Zmiros. But, the best Shabbos Zmiros are the ones that are heartsick, the ones without words. Those are the most heartsick. When you just hum a tune, that's, a lot of the Hasidish Nigunim, the Bobov Nigun and the Breslover Nigun, the Chabad Nigun and things like that. So that's what a zemer is. A zemer is without words. That's Aser, because it's not good music. It's classical music is terrible. But classical music by itself, anyone who sings classical music or listens to classical music by itself, that's terrible because it's not good music. The Torah is saying the opposite, right? In the time of the Beis HaMikdash, right, they had the Levium, and they had instruments playing by themselves. Sometimes they had zemer, so they could. There was a time where you could enjoy even just instruments playing or a tune without words. But nowadays, we only really enjoy things that we fully enjoy. The Gemara says the payros, they used to taste better. Nowadays, you don't eat fruits; they don't taste good. So now we need something really good. So we need songs with words. Any song with words. It doesn't have to be Jewish music. It doesn't say Jewish music, non-Jewish music. That's made up. Jewish music, non-Jewish music. Even if it's non-Jewish music, maybe if it's sung by a woman, perhaps Kol Isha, maybe. I have to discuss Kol Isha a different time, especially if it's on the radio or it's recorded. Is that the same thing as Kol Isha live? There's a big difference. Music is okay. Non-Jewish music is okay, as long as it's not Beethoven. It's classical music. It's funny because. And I was in the car one time with Yaakov Friedman, my Rosh Yeshiva, my Rebbe, my main Rebbe, I guess. He has a yeshiva in Beitar now. And I was in the car in America. He requested classical music. And I thought, oh, that's so cool. It's like a good compromise. Like, you don't listen to like Mara says, don't listen to music. Let's classical music. That's the right balance. And then I'm saying, no. Classical music is horrible. I started listening to classical music myself. I'm like, who wants to listen to Beethoven? It's terrible. Classical music is good to accompany when you're eating a nice meal at a wedding. Play some classical music. It gets you in the mood. Maybe in the background, you're making a nice video. You can put some classical music. But it's to accompany something else. But if you want to have music you just want to listen to by itself, you have to have a shir. You have to have words. And, classical music, the Bab of Nigunim are good for dancing. It helps you dancing. But to hear music itself, it has to have words. Now, Torah is telling you, nowadays, we can't appreciate a zemer by itself. So, if you want to listen to the music by itself, make sure it's not classical. Make sure it has words so you can enjoy it nowadays. The opposite of what you thought. Hope you enjoyed today's share. See you on the next one.